Not gonna lie, it's become a sensation here in the building, maybe across Secaucus, New Jersey. The red chair special here on MLB. So once the lights get going, see why? There's a special electricity.
I love digging into the games, though. You can really break the games into different blocks and really try to pay attention to what's going on within the game.
100%. There's good games in a good day. There's bad games, but this game you always know is going to bring it.
Right.
Red chair special. The Brewers and Giants in the spotlight. Let's get to it. Top of the first, kick off the action with Christian Yelich batting with runners in the corners facing Landon Ralph. The 1-2 pitch appears to clip the inside corner. Jim Wolf does not give him the call. Come on, that's a strike.
Sometimes when you execute the perfect pitch, you need to get that call or it costs you.
Yelich, a fly ball to center. Jung Hoo Lee makes the catch. Sal Frelick was off the pitch at first. He gets doubled off, but Bryce Terang does score, and the Brewers take a 1-0 lead. What do you make of the base running here?
Yeah, right here, it's becoming so common right now to where when guys are stealing bases, nobody's doing the peak inning anymore. They're just trusting their instincts or trusting that they're going to be able to find the ball.
Yeah.
It makes it too tough. You can get beat by the middle infielders.
Bottom of the first, Tobias Myers making his season debut after an oblique injury. Leadoff man's on. He falls off the mound mid-pitch, and he balks Mike Yastrzemski over to second base. Later in the inning, Lee. I love the hooligans they have there in San Francisco.
Are amazing. He continues to deliver for the hooligans.
Ripping it down the right field line. Yastrzemski scores easily as Lee scampers into second with a double as the balk comes back to haunt Myers. To the top of the second we go. Garrett Mitchell's at third with Ralph trying to work out of trouble. The wild pitch to catcher Sam Hofka not knocked down.
Yeah, you're just seeing the jab at it right there. You would love to see your catcher drop down to a knee, really block that ball, keep the ball in front of you.
Brewers take a 2-1 lead. Bottom of the third, Yastrzemski leading off the inning. It is deep, and that is gone. Fourth home run of the year as the Giants tie the game at 2. To the top of the fourth, Joey Ortiz is at second. And Ralph uncorks another wild pitch, allowing Ortiz to get to third base. Two batters there. It's Eric Haas up, runners in the corners. What year am I watching baseball? Laying down a bunt. Lamont Wade Jr. can't handle Matt Chapman's throw. 2-run score on the play is Vinny Capra. It's a wonderful life. Scoring all the way from first, the Brewers take a 4-2 lead. Let's pause this highlight here for a second.
Old school baseball. I would love to dig into that one right there. If we could pause it.
Yes, sir.
Let's pause it right here, Adnan, and really dig into what Haas saw on this play right here. You're in a close game, runners at first and third. You're thinking right now, guys are going to swing the bat. Okay, maybe a safety squeeze is in play, but not just a base, not a bunt for a base hit, but for Haas, right here, first and third, run on first. Normally, you would see this bunt go to first base. If this was a safety squeeze, you're bunting the ball to third base, you're letting the first baseman come and field it, you're trying to steal a run. Haas, in my opinion, he was bunting for a base hit right here. Yes, he understood the situation, but when he saw where Matt Chapman was, you see how deep he is, especially on first pitch. You would like to see Matt Chapman up in the line to take this bunt away. If I'm the one hitting, Adnan, and I peek down there with a runner on third base, less than 2 outs, and I see the third baseman that far out, when I make my peek, I see him back. If he's right here, I'm not trying to bunt at all. But the way that Chapman is back right there, I'm saying, man, this is an opportunity. I got to at least give it a shot one time, put the pressure on the defense, and it opens it up and turns it into a big inning for the Brewers.
Certainly, that's where speed kills, right? That's one thing about the Brewers. They may not hit the home runs like other teams, but they got speed to burn, and that will impact your defense. All right, let's go back to part 2 now, this highlight. Check out more of the Brewers and Giants. Still in the top of the fourth after a single. Sal Frelick is up. Runners in the corners. He chops the fade. He thinks about going home, but he spins around, throws it to a covering Tyler Fitzgerald, but the throw is too late. Haas scores.
Yeah, I think it's called safe right there, but they're able to take that under review. Right here, Wade almost makes a mistake thinking that he can get the opportunity at home, turns and makes a really athletic play and still get that out at first base. Great play by Wade Jr.
And the run still counts. That would end Ralph stayed for just 3 2/3. And, of course, good job by Fitzgerald to make sure he covered. Bottom of 5, Lee working a leadoff walk-off. New pitcher, Abner Uribe, brings up Chapman. He's a streaky player, so once he gets going, fifth home to straightaway center in that park.
And when you see a low line drive to center field in San Francisco, you never think that's a home run. I mean, the bat, look how level it is through in the zone, driving down through the ball, really getting a lot of backspin on that ball, allowing it to just carry out of the yard.
The leadoff walk comes back to haunt the Brewers instantly. Bottom of the 8th. Yaz is up, 2 runners in scoring position with the infield in, rolls over to Terang at second. The throw comes home, but Fitz beat it.
That's a tough decision right there by Bryce Terang. You know what? Actually, let's pause it.
I like it. Good pause.
Let's dig into this play a little bit, look at the game situation, and try to understand why Bryce Terang felt the need to throw the ball home. We're going to look at the score of the game. We're sitting in a 5-4 game. I understand Milwaukee's about 1, runners at second and third, 1 out. Bryce Terang tries to take a gamble, and I understand, yes, maybe if the throw was perfect, but you got to understand the situation. This ball bounces 3 times. Bryce Terang is not known to have one of the stronger arms in the game. You have Fitzgerald at third base, who is in the top 95th percentile on base running speed. I understand somebody's going to say if it's a perfect throw, maybe we get a chance of getting them. But taking the gamble allows it to only be 1 out right here. Now the next ball opens up, ends up being a big inning. I believe if you take the out at first base, Adnan, that same fly ball by Willie Adames to left field, Christian Yelich, he drops that ball because he's thinking about making the transfer. He's thinking about having to throw this ball home and get the guy out at home. If there's 2 outs, he comes in, he makes that catch, it's 3 outs. So You think about damage control when you're on defense.
Yeah.
At second base, I understand that the infield was in and you want to make the play. But when you see that ball bounce 3 times, you got to understand the runner that's on third base, say, I do not have time to get that guy at home. Let's get that out at first base. Keep the game at 5-5.
Yeah.
Adames comes up, he gets the third out. It was a tie game. But to give them the lead right there and allow the big inning by taking a huge risk on a huge gamble where it's a very low percentage chance of you getting that out, I just didn't like that decision right there.
Yeah, like you said, sometimes there's a calculated risk. This is a pretty big leap. Doesn't work out now at Snake Eyes. Let's check back the highlights and see what happens. So the closer, Trevor McGill, comes in the game to face Adames. Runners in the corners. And Willie, facing his former team, lines it to left. Yelich coming in, and it clanks off his glove and skirts away.
Yeah, that's the play that we ended up just watching right there.
Yeah.
The fact that Yelich is trying to rush. He's thinking about getting rid of it. The ball is top spinning. He wants to get the guy on third. There's only one out. He's thinking about the right tagging, needing to make a throw to the plate. And I think it's just a lot of balls. The ball ended up bouncing on him. Ends up making a tough error right there.
Good say you've been there, so you know exactly where his mind's
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Top of the ninth, Camilo Duvall's in for the save as Ryan Walker has struggled as of late. He walks Caleb Durbin on 4 straight balls to the Giants infield gathers. We got this. Settle down. All good. Deep breaths. Terang is up next, and Terang will fly out harmlessly into left. Durbin's back to first. Now it's Frelick. Durbin's off on the pitch, but Frelick also flies up to left. Durbin goes back to first. Now it's Yelich trying to atone. And they'll do so. A base hit to center. The tying run is up to second base.
Line moving, but Duvall's been good lately. You're going to continue to trust him. I understand walks out right now. Duvall's in. Take advantage of the opportunity, try to get that last out.
The pitching coach, J.P. Martinez, coming out to talk to Duvall. Reese Hoskins, the batter, crowd on their feet. But he swings at the first pitch, flies out to Lee. The Giants hang on to win this game 6-5. They take 3 of 4 from the Brewers. And anyone who thinks that this Giants team's a mirage, it ain't happening. They're not going anywhere. Let's go through that Yelich play again. You've been there. You know what's going through his mind. What exactly happened?
And in the Yelich play, I mean, you have a ball where the game is moving fast. First of all, it's a really tough play. The toughest ball for an outfielder is going to be a ball that's coming right at you. You don't know if you need to break back or break in. But from that low pitch, with Diamond swinging up a little bit, that ball is top spinning like crazy. Yelich is wanting to come in, make the exchange as quick as possible. And with the top spin, it just drops right below the glove. Sometimes the lights are right there in your eyes. I understand it's a day game, but the lights are still on for everybody at home. And then the slip it doesn't make it look any better. But it's just a tough play. I mean, Yelich is a really good outfielder. Tough ball, big mistake, ended up costing him right there.
After the game, players only post-game meeting, but here was the thought on that drop ball specifically.
You know, just top spinning away from me, going to the backhand, and just missed it. Nothing more to it. So you got to make that play, but yeah, it's just top spin, hooking balls are the toughest ones, going to your backhand, and just flat out missed it. I mean, it wasn't anything crazy, just like we all know that we need to clean it up, but you have to get it in the big leagues. You have to do that. You know, you can't keep making mistakes, and it's all of us. You know, so just get it corrected, and don't let it linger.
Can always appreciate, again, Yelich is a veteran, a guy who's got accountability, right? It's not like all of a sudden it's like, it was top spin, tough play, but I should have made it. Let's move on.
Take accountability. It's not going to be the last time it's happened. He's been a great veteran for the game. He's been there before. He understands it's a mistake, but it's no reason to panic. Just continue to go out there and play. We'll make the adjustment.
Here's the leaderboard right now for all those who love to run. O'Neal Cruz, leading the league right now, the 11. No surprise, Pete Crow, Armstrong can fly. And actually, no surprise, Ellie De La Cruz is there. I wouldn't have known blindly off the top of my head, but O'Neal, PCA, and Ellie, 3 guys have been great. But we often focus on the guys who steal bases. But how about those who try to stop the theft? In particular, you just saw a bit of an A's game, and A's catcher Shea Langoliers. Now, Langoliers is a guy who snapped a 2 for 20 mini slump. He had a 4-hit effort on Wednesday. But he's allowed an MLB high 26 stolen bases. See why? 26 for 29 stolen bases allowed. What's going on?
Well, when you see those type of stats, especially with the success that Langoliers has had in the past, you try to dig in deeper and see, is this all on Langoliers? Or it has to have something to do with the pitching staff. As a guy who used to steal bases, I would always steal on the pitcher. But when you see numbers that are this glaring, you have to dig into the throws and see where it all plays. But when you look at Shea Langoliers' numbers, his pop times are actually really good. 3rd in baseball as far as his pop time away. And everybody at home, when I say pop time, that's from the time of him catching the ball to the time that it touches the fielder's glove to wherever he's throwing to, whatever base that may be. So you see the 1.87 seconds. That means he's getting rid of the ball quick. So that tells me that he's not being extremely accurate. What can affect your pop times and how pop times can be misconstrued sometimes is that just because you have a quick pop time, you need to put the ball down here on the bag. And I've seen Langoliers do this with the best of them. When the throws are much lower, that pop time plays because you're putting the ball right there where you need to make the tag. But if you're throwing your balls high or up the line a little bit too far, the shortstop or the second baseman is not able to get the tag down so far. So I think it's more about the accuracy of his throws because when he's
This was back in 2023, yeah.
Yeah, these are going to be the ones that you see to where he's been extremely successful, and he just has not been leaving the ball down as much. I would rather to see see Shangle Langalier's error on the side of low, and sometimes even have to throw the one-hopper, an error to try to keep that ball as low as possible because he has such a strong arm, as opposed to throwing it so high it doesn't give the middle infielder time to get the time down. But the problem is not arm strength. The problem is not the exchange. It's just right now teams are putting the pressure on him. They're trusting that, hey, he's proven that he's not making accurate throws right now. If he leaves the throw high, that's all we need. He's had some throwing issues in the past, but I trust that he'll be able to make the adjustment, get the ball down, and go out there, and guys won't be able to take advantage of him anymore.
Yeah, it'd be more concerning if the pop time was an issue, right? He's not getting buckle, he's not getting nothing, but that's not an issue.
Right.
I thought you were going to say actually the pitcher's delivery. That's the problem sometimes.
Well, that's the biggest thing. I mean,
you're not running on the catcher, you're running on the pitcher.
Yeah, a lot of times you run on the pitcher, and if I'm seeing pitchers times for everybody at home, when they lift their foot, that's when the clock starts. When you see any movement from the pitchers, that's when the clock starts. Yeah. A slow pitcher to the plate, you'll see a time 1-4, 1-5, 1-6. If you see that, anybody who's a base stealer is going to try to take advantage of it. But if you see a guy who's a 1.2 seconds or 1.25 seconds to the plate, then you're stealing on the catcher. But with the A's, from an entire organization, I haven't seen a lot of guys be too quick to the plate. So I think that's something that they should address as well.